Well, good Monday afternoon, y'all. It's Dan. I want to welcome y'all to my home in the sticks. Lord of mercy. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Monday, start to a new work week. But you know what? I thought I'd do a little bit of a garden update for you and y'all. So give me a second. That's what we finna do. Alright, y'all, here we go. I actually left everything exactly how it is, and I'm just gonna say, Lord of mercy. Ooh, Lord of mercy. This is my 16-foot raised beds with Mississippi pink eye purple hull peas. Ain't looking too good. And over here in this one is my other side of the 16-foot raised beds with the cucumbers and the pole beans in it. And I have left a bunch of the cucumbers that just got big. I just let them grow. The birds are really getting after them, so I just let it go. Wasn't good this year for purple hull peas, cucumbers, and pole beans on this side of the 40. Looking bad. But I've come to a realization that the heat, the unusual heat that we've been getting over here in East Central Mississippi and the rain just played a big part in everything that's not growing. Come to think of it, at the end of April, we had a frost. Highly unusual to have a frost at the end of April. Going into May, the middle of May, we had some really high temps in the hundreds. So that just put a dampener on everything over here. I've been growing purple hull peas in this bed for the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I really never had a problem. I actually had real good harvest of purple hull peas. But this year, I'm just gonna have to go with getting purple hull peas from a buddy of mine, shelling them and putting them up. Same thing with the cucumbers and the pole beans. Earthbed garden, deer actually tore that up, so I'm just letting that grow up, and I'll just cut it down later on towards the end of the season. As far as the growing cucumbers and pole beans at the same time, does it work? Yes, it works really well. Would I do it again? Nah, probably not. I may just go ahead and do nothing but pole beans on this trellis system next year. Let's walk over here to the other side of the 40. I'm gonna show you what's going on over there. All right, let's go. Here are all my Romas. Still have a lot of fruit sets on it, and everything has just been growing wild, bushy, bushed out. I'd normally trim back some of these, but I'm just actually letting them go. My mother actually came over a couple of days ago and actually harvested a bunch of these Roma tomatoes, so she can make some, she can put up some tomatoes. That's cool. I have a whole bunch of pole beans getting on. Those are actually growing real well. I actually have Mr. David and Miss Darcy. Look at this big old dipper gourd. That thing's growing really well. But my cantaloupes, my ambrosia cantaloupes, they ain't doing too well. I've had a bunch of, actually had a whole bunch of fruits on this. Well, there's one right there, right here. Actually had a whole bunch of fruit on these vines, but the heat just destroyed everything. Peppers are looking really good. Peppers love heat. Have a whole bunch of jalapenos that are growing really well. Have some tempranos. Those are growing really well. Well, let me get that leaf out the way. There you go. So peppers are doing really good. As far as my Creole maters and my early girls, I still have a bunch of fruit sets that are still on, but look at here. The heat is just tearing them up. I'm actually having to deal with, and this is the first on that, birds. A lot of birds come down here and peck on the maters. I know it's not actually worms or anything like that, or the tomato hornworms. It's birds, because I've actually seen them. They'll come up and roost up on the top of my trellis system, and they'll just get to eating these maters. Kind of like free range maters for birds. They got to eat too though. And y'all definitely know I'm going to show the good stuff and the bad stuff. So yeah, it's just been horrible this year. Miss Michelle's bumblebee maters ain't looking really good. Got some bumblebees here, but yeah. Here's some more Roma Tomatoes over here. They're growing all wild because I'm letting them go. If they set any fruit, I'll just pick them off. But yeah, it is what it is. It's been so hot over here in East Central Mississippi that most of the time I come home at lunchtime from work and actually refill all of the water buckets for the animals. The goats have been drinking 10-15 gallons of water a day. That's how hot it's been. So just give you a little example of what's going on over here at the home of the sticks. Myers lemon is still alive, and it's green and it's growing. My black-eyed Susans, oh gracious, the heat has just torn them up. I've been watering these guys constantly, but asparagus, it's still growing. I had a few people ask me about, hey Dan, what's going on with your garden? I was kind of ashamed to show it because it just looks awful this year. But I'm optimistic. Really looking forward to the fall planting season. I may still have some time to no-till my purple hull pea bed, maybe get some squash in there or something like that. We'll just have to see what happens with that. Mr. Mark and Miss Tina Bracey over at Bumblebee Junction, he put out a tip video. I think it was tips and tricks #1, and I'll put a link up to it right here somewhere. There was actually some really good tips in there that I mean, heck, I didn't even know it. Cucumbers don't really need a whole bunch of sunlight. So what I'm thinking is it may be too late in the season for the cucumbers, but I actually thought about rigging up some cucumbers up underneath my lean-to on my shop, because it actually gets some real good sun in the morning, and then it shades off, and try to get some cucumbers going. Same thing with the melons. I think the melons may be just a little bit too late, but I actually thought about getting some melons going in a shaded part of the property just to see what they'll do. So y'all, there you have it. Garden update, raised bed garden update over here at the home of the sticks. I wanted to show y'all what was going on. Had a few folks ask about it. Ain't looking too good. Definitely not like it was last year. This season's been crazy. If you like the video, go on and give it a thumbs up. They help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home of the Sticks channel, Lord have mercy, y'all need to come on over here and give me a look, because I'm always doing stuff. Really. With that being said, you know it's coming. Dan sure enough gonna say it, especially today. Don't let that garden W shine. I mean, yeah, don't let it. And we will see you and y'all in the next video.